and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my January favorites, and I just want to apologize because things are so hectic around here. So I have construction going on outside the window that I typically film in front of, so you might be able to hear that in the background. And then I just have a new puppy who is out here, so I had to move into my living room to film, and he's gonna hear me talking and want to bark and want to yelp, and so there's so many things going on, and this room is kind of echoey, so you can probably hear that. So I really apologize if this is a really terrible quality video, but I wanted to get it out there for you guys, and I really want to apologize. I've been so absent from YouTube for so long. It's just a lot of things going on between work and going back to school and the home life and things that I have going on. I just adopted a puppy, so he takes up literally all of my spare time. It's just like having a newborn baby. If you have a puppy, then you know what it's like. So there are just so many things that have been going on lately, and my husband's been busy at work and things like that. So long story short, just haven't been able to sit down and film and sit down and edit. I just haven't had the spare time to do it. So yes, anyway, so let's get started. I know that was a really long thing. I also see you guys' comments saying that you missed my videos and you missed seeing me, so I really want to tell you guys that I appreciate that, and I read them and things like that. Even if I didn't reply to it, I did read it, and I really appreciate the positive comments. If you guys are curious as to what's on my lips, it's NYX Liquid Suede in the shade Tea and Cookies. Love these guys. So anyways, let's get started. So all of my new favorites, actually all of my favorites from this month, are brand new products actually they're all brand new releases this month, and they're all drugstore, which is just bomb. I mean, I love drugstore makeup. But yeah, I mean, they're all over YouTube, so it's gonna be no surprise to you guys, but we're gonna talk about them anyways. So the first one I want to talk about is this L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover Color Correcting Palette. I absolutely love this guy. I've never really been into color correcting until I found this, because most palettes that come like this are too thick and too creamy, and they're gonna cake up on your face. Or color correctors that come in tubes from NYX or Naked Skin or Urban Decay are just a little too watery, and sometimes they just don't do as much as what I would want, and sometimes you can put on too much and it's still gonna get cakey. It just hasn't been easy for me, but this palette makes life so easy. These are so lightweight. They're really creamy and easy to blend out. I just use a small stippling brush, and I usually put the green around my nose, and then I mix this peachy color with the banana shade and put it under my eyes to color correct dark circles. It's just so easy and so lightweight. I can put on a little bit of it and it really does the job. So love that guy. And then next I have the Wet n Wild contouring sticks and the highlighting stick. So I have the contour shade in Where's Walnut. I think this is the medium shade, but the lighter one was too orange. It just wouldn't contour. It would look kind of goofy. But I absolutely love this. I used it in a couple of videos that I filmed, but I never got to edit them and upload them. So I don't know, I think I might still do it and just upload them for the heck of it. I did a whole drugstore haul and testing out the drugstore makeup and all of this stuff, but I never got them edited and uploaded. So I don't know, I think I might still do it. If you guys are interested, then let me know in the comments down below, and I can definitely do that for you guys. You can see my comments on the whole new drugstore collections. And then I have the Wet n Wild highlighting stick in When the Nude Strikes, and this one is a beautiful pink champagne. It's super intense. I love this stuff. I'll swatch them both for you. Here's what they look like. I just love these. They're great for so many skin tones. I mean, the shade range isn't amazing, but for the price, you can't really beat it. Next, let's do these. These are the NYX Total Control Drop Foundation. I'm in the shade Alabaster, which is number 2. They do have one that's a shade lighter, which is amazing because if you have really fair skin, porcelain skin, it's really difficult to find products that are actually going to be light enough for you and not be too yellowy or too pink, or like ivory is usually still too dark for my natural skin tone. Like what? But this shade is just perfect. It's just light enough. It's the perfect neutral undertone. I love these things. You use a little bit of them or you can use a lot of them. I definitely say use a brush. If you use a sponge, it's just going to suck up too much of the product, and you're going to have to use like 6 drops for a side of your face to get a medium coverage, and that just doesn't make sense. So I use, I think it's the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush is what I've been using. But you can use a lot of different like flat top face brushes and it's going to be perfect. They're also really great if you have a foundation that's too dark. You can buy a shade that's super light, like in the shade 1 or 2 range, and you can add a couple of drops and it's going to add some coverage as well as change the shade of that foundation. Same thing, you can buy a darker shade to help darken your foundations if you self-tan or something like that. So these are really great. They're kind of like a dupe for the Cover FX Custom Cover Drops, but they're just not quite the same quality, of course. I wouldn't say that these are as dramatic as the Custom Cover Drops. So if you're just kind of looking for something that can do things like that without having to buy like a white foundation, these would be a great one for you. Alright, and then I have a couple of mascaras. So I have the new Maybelline, the Colosal Big Shot Volume Express. I think I have like the blackest black. I don't know. One of the black shades, of course. But I love this stuff. I haven't been a huge fan of Maybelline mascaras. I started using them, a lot of the volume line I was using, but it seemed like they were clumping up and drying out and doing all these weird things, and I just got really tired of it. Like I kind of felt out of love with Maybelline mascaras, and I haven't used them in probably like a year until this one came out, and I was like, man, that wand just looks amazing. I feel like I definitely need to try this, and I'm happy I did. I absolutely love this. I adore it. It is like a synthetic bristle, so it's not a hard plastic bristle, but it does lengthen and volume, and it's super black, and it works so well. I love this formula too because it's not super dry. It's a pretty wet formula, so if you like more of a dry formula, I would say get it and you can open it and then let it sit for a week or two, and it'll dry out for you if you want that. But as of late, I've really been into a more wet formula, so I love that guy. And then the next one I have is the Wet n Wild Mega Slim Skinny Mascara. I love this. I haven't ever really had a skinny mascara that I was like, oh my god, this is life-changing. But I really love this one. It is a nice small brush, and it's super, super black. It's perfect for the lower lash line, especially on days like today where I put like a nude liner in my waterline, and that gets at the root of your lashes, and this is so easy to go in and get up to the root of your lashes but not on the waterline and really lengthen out those bottom lashes. So they're nice and spidery and a little bit voluminous, so just really, really love the formula that way. And then I have a couple more highlighters. Both of them are from NYX. So the first one I have is the NYX Professional Duo Chromatic Illuminating Powder. You can see that it is nice and used. I have the shade Snow Rose. I think they came out with 4 or 6 of these. I can't remember now. But it has a nice shift to it. So it's kind of like a champagne-y color, and then it shifts to pink. I don't even know if it's going to show up on my hand. Probably not because the weather's changing, but you're just going to have to take my word for it. So I love this guy. I definitely have to use a fan brush with it. I can't use a nice packed highlighting brush like I typically use because it is going to give like a huge pink streak across my face. So I definitely have to use a light hand with this and a fan brush, but just dusting it on the top of your cheekbones is so gorgeous. It looks champagne in one light, and then it shifts to a nice pink. It's like almost the shade of this lipstick. Gorgeous. I absolutely love this guy. And then I also have the NYX Away We Glow liquid highlighter. I have this one in the shade Crystal Glare. They came out with a ton of these. A lot of them are darker, so it's going to be really great for deep skin tones. This is like the second lightest one, I think. They have like a really white icy one, and then this is like the next step down, which is kind of like a champagne-y color. But it comes with this beautiful doe foot applicator. I will say that I wouldn't suggest just applying this with the doe foot applicator straight onto your face, because I found when I did that, it lifted the foundation. And I tried it with a bunch of different foundations and I had the same problem. So what I do is I just take it right here on the back of my hand. It's right there. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it. But I just take it with the back of my hand and I do either one of two things. I just take my ring finger and then I dab it across the cheekbones, or I'll just take a beauty sponge and dab it there and then apply it with the beauty sponge. Just depending on how intense I want it. I would say with your finger is going to definitely be more intense, but the sponge is going to shear it out a little bit. So I really, really love this guy, but it is super beaming. So it just kind of depends on what makeup look I'm going for. And I do kind of have to set it because it stays tacky. So sometimes I'll set it with just a little light highlighter, one that's really subtle, and other times I'll set it with just a tiny bit of translucent setting powder, depending on what I'm going for. Alright, so next I have this sponge here. This is from Eco Tools. I got mine at Ulta, but I know that they also sell it at Target, and it is amazing. It is so soft and durable. I mean, mine started to kind of rip because I've been washing it a lot. I've been loving this thing. But this is just the shape of it. So it's really, really unique. It has the round bottom, just like a beauty blender. So if you loved to blend out a lot of space at one time, you can use it like that. It also has a long flat side, kind of like the Real Technique sponge, and it says that you can use that to blend out a lot of space as well. It's also great if you want to bake your contour. It's a really great, nice flat surface that you can pack on the powder to help bake your contour and give it a nice sharp edge. And then it also has this smaller flat side, and that is perfect for getting up there and blending out your concealer. That's what I use that side for. And it just gets right up in there into the corner of the eye and straight up under those lashes. It is so amazing and so perfect, and it is so bouncy on its own. The only downside, or I do find that it absorbs more product than my other sponges, more product than the Real Technique sponge, and definitely more than a beauty blender. But if you can get past that, you'll love it. So I definitely don't use it with foundations that are going to be kind of a medium to light coverage because it's just going to shear it out too much. So I use this more with like my Urban Decay De-Slick, or no, my Urban Decay All Nighter foundation and super full coverage foundations, that it's not going to bug me if it absorbs a little bit of the product. Does that make sense? But the next thing I have is this Revlon Colorstay brow pencil. So Revlon came out with these brow pencils. They're really, really nice. It has a spoolie on the end, and it has this nice flat surface, and it is a little bit bigger. So I've definitely been into more of a natural brow, but this formula is a little bit creamier than the L'Oreal brow pencil, but not as creamy as the Maybelline brow pencil. It's somewhere in between, and it's really nice if you just want, you know, to fill in your brows and not necessarily carve them out and make super strict blocky lines. It's just going to give you a nice filled in look. I'm in the shade Blonde, which is right there, so it matches me pretty well. It's a little warm, but my hair is pretty light, so I can get away with it. But I love it. It's just a nice natural brow pencil. And then I've been loving these new Maybelline matte lipsticks. They came out with a nude line. Some new shades came out, and I've really been loving this one. This is number 535 Purely Nude. It is a super light nude, like a super light pinky nude, which is gorgeous. Great for spring to summer. So I'll definitely be getting a lot of use out of that one. I also have the shade, I think it's called Almond Rose. It's a really nice mauve rose nude. I've been loving that one as well. And then I love this. I love everything. I need to stop saying that. I love it all, so I really don't need to reiterate that. My next favorite is the Milani Make It Last Setting Spray. I love this guy. It is kind of steep for the price. You don't get a lot of product in this, but it really does work. I use it as a base, kind of like a priming water. So I spray it on, put a little mattifying primer in the T-zone, and I am good to go, and it really will extend the wear of my makeup. You can also definitely use it as a setting spray. And it will extend the wear of your makeup that way as well. So I used it as my base today and a setting spray, so my makeup's going to be locked in and good to go. It has a little bit of a perfumey fragrance, but it doesn't bug me. It's not like florally, but it's not sweet. I don't exactly know where in the spectrum. I guess it's kind of like right in the middle of those two. So if you're sensitive to scents, I don't know if you're gonna love that, but it does have a really nice fine mist. All right. So the next thing I've been loving is the Maybelline Dream Cushion Foundation. I'm in the shade 10, which is Porcelain. Definitely ain't Porcelain because it is a little bit darker than that. It oxidizes a tiny bit on me, but not super bad, so I can definitely just set it with a translucent powder, and usually I am good to go. Here's what it looks like if you haven't seen it. But I love this guy. I wear a different foundation every single day because I have so many in my collection and I get tired of wearing the same stuff all the time. But when I bought this, I wore it for 2 weeks straight. Not even kidding. 2 weeks, never tried another one, couldn't step away from this. I use a beauty sponge, just dip it in there and then pat it around my face. And I love this. I have oily skin, so usually cushion foundations are not a thing that I reach for. It's not gonna be good for my skin, but something about this, when I start to get oily in my T-zone, usually like 4 hours into wearing a foundation, that's usually when I have to go in and blot. But something about this natural finish, when I start getting oily, it doesn't look like oil. Does that make sense? It doesn't look like, oh my god, she's got a oil slick on her face. It just looks like a natural shine. So it kind of enhances the natural luminosity of this foundation. And so I love it. Like I can go all day without blotting, and I like, say I put my makeup on at 6 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning, and I don't get off work until like 5 o'clock. I can last all day without having to blot and powder my face because it's just going to look like a natural glow. I don't know what it is about this foundation, but it loves my skin and I love it. Alright, so I only have 2 more products. The next one is this Neutrogena Hydra Boost Hydrating Lip Shine. I'm in the shade Pink Sorbet. These are just a really, really nice hydrating lip gloss. So Pink Sorbet can be pretty pink. Here's kind of a swatch of it. So it can be pretty pink, but if you just put on a light layer, it just is like a clear gloss pretty much, but it lasts forever. I've been wearing this at work a lot, and I'll have to like apply it at the beginning of my day, and then I won't have to reapply until after lunch, after I've eaten and things like that. And it just is so hydrating, and it's so soft and nice on your lips. My lips have been so well hydrated lately since I've been wearing this. Like, I am over the moon in love with this product. And it comes in a bunch of different shades. I just got the pink one because I know it's going to complement my skin and the makeup looks that I go for, but I know they have like a peachy one, and I think they had more of a deeper pink, so I don't know. Go check your local drugstore. Love it. And the last product I have is actually from L'Oreal. It's their Hydra Genius gel. What do you say it's called? Hydra Genius Daily Moisturizer. Love this guy. I have the one that is made for oily skin. They have one for a normal to dry skin, and then they have like one that comes in a jar that's supposed to be super mattifying. I didn't try the mattifying one because I fell in love with this. I didn't know that I was gonna like this because I do have oily skin and I love a gel moisturizer. I can't use creams during the day because it's too thick and too heavy on my skin, so I always have to use a gel. But I thought this was gonna be too light. Does that make sense? Like, I like a thicker gel, and this is a really, really thin formula, so I wasn't sure I was gonna like it. That's what it looks like on the hand, and when you blend it out, it's just like a sheer gel. It's really, really lightweight, but a little bit of this goes a long way. So I can just use one pump of it and it'll go all over my face. I can take it down the neck, and it is extremely hydrating. So the thing about oily skin is a lot of the time you're overproducing oils because your skin is dehydrated. I love this. That's why I didn't really go for the mattifying one. I felt like I could hydrate more and get better benefits than using a mattifying moisturizer, plus I can just use a mattifying primer if I'm really like, if I'm wearing makeup pretty much, so I don't have to worry about it. But I love this. It has a tiny bit of a fragrance, but it's really not that bad. It smells like men's cologne. That's what it reminds me of. It smells a lot like men's cologne. That's kind of the fragrance that it has, but it works amazing. My skin has felt so wonderful during the day. It's super hydrated. I'm not producing as many oils as I was, and I've fallen in love. I hope this is like permanent in their line, because I never ever want to have to find another moisturizer ever again. So it's really big. It has like nice glass packaging, a really nice pump, so it's super hygienic. You get 3.04 fluid ounces in this thing, and I bought mine at Walgreens, and I think it was $17 or $18. So that's kind of steep for a daytime moisturizer from the drugstore, but because you get 3 fluid ounces in here, it's super affordable. Typically, you get like a 1 fluid ounce in a moisturizer, so if you divide, $18 by 3, then it would only cost $6 an ounce, which is amazing for drugstore. Like, it's so affordable and so cheap and amazing. I love this guy. I definitely say check it out. Like I said, they have one for oily skin, which is the one that I have, and then they have a formula for normal to dry skin, so it's a really great range. Check it out at Walgreens. That's the only place that I've seen it, but it could be in other drugstores. Alright guys, so that is everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was kind of a lengthy one. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.